Welcome to another episode of Poke Takeover. Guys, today I want to do our first introduction to Pokemon the game, the trading card game specifically, which is also called Pokemon TCG. You can learn a lot about this by just jumping on the app or online and downloading it on your computer, the Pokemon TCG Live app, or download on the PC. You can sign up for an account on Pokemon.com. If you have parents, they can sign up for a Pokemon.com account. On there, you can also get player IDs so that you can use those in tournaments that you go to in local stores, in the regionals, or if you happen to make it all the way to World Championships, you'll need that player ID before then so you can develop those points. Let's see here. Okay. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about this guy right here. His name is Fuecoco. Fuecoco is a basic Pokemon. He has 80 HP or HP 80, which means hit points 80. He can take up to 80 hits, 88 damage counters or 80 hit points from an attack before he is knocked out. In the game of Pokemon, you are never killing a Pokemon. You are knocking it out. And let's go over that real quick. There is a need, I think, to understand what exactly are you when you're playing Pokemon? Are you just somebody? Are you just someone that just checked into a game of Pokemon and started throwing cards around or trading or collecting or whatever? No. In fact, first of all, you matter. But second of all, in the world of Pokemon, you are a trainer. You are a Pokemon trainer. So as a Pokemon trainer, and everyone, no matter if they're the world champion, as of recently, Mr. Cifuentes, or if you are like me, barely 10 months in, or if you're like anyone else just starting out, you are a Pokemon trainer. Everyone is a trainer. Look at it like training dogs. Some of us are training our dogs that we own. Some of us are like Cesar Millan, who is like world famous in his ability to train dogs, and so forth. So hopefully I'm pronouncing everybody's name correctly. But anyways, Fuecoco in Pokemon, there are three stages. You have stage 1. It's like when you were a baby, like a toddler, right? So you went from toddler, then you carried on to youth, and then you went into teenager years, and then you went into adulthood, or young adulthood, then adulthood. So Fuecoco is a basic Pokemon. He evolves, and you can see this up here, evolves from Fuecoco, and here's Fuecoco right here. Fuecoco evolves into Crocolar. Crocolar is a stage 1 up in the top left. He has 110 HP hit points. And notice the fire type up in the top right corner for both Fuecoco, top right next to the 80, and Crocolar next to the 110. That means they are fire type Pokemon. In Pokemon, you have different types of Pokemon. Kind of like, I don't know exactly how to say this, but just different types of Pokemon. Let's just keep it simple. So these types of Pokemon feed off of that energy type in order to do certain things. Like, for example, Crocolar uses Heat Breath as an attack. It takes off 30 plus. Then you flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 50 more damage. So if you get tails, then it's just 30. If you get 50, it's 80. And that's how that works. But in order to use that attack, you have to have 1 fire energy and 1 that white with this black star. That's called colorless energy. You need 1 colorless energy also, or one of any energy. Really, colorless energy are like special energy. So anyways, so we'll get to the energy kind of thing later, but we're just introducing Pokemon cards a little bit, okay? This is the stage 2. Notice Crocolar, it evolves, Skeledirge evolves from Crocolar. There's Crocolar. So going all the way back over here, little young Fuecoco didn't know that one day, sitting next to the pool and eating things, he would turn into, oopsie daisy, a Crocolar. Next, Crocodile was going around, and he was just munching on and chewing on whatever he felt like, and attacking and gaining life experience like we all do. And then suddenly, bloop, he turns into this voracious Skeledirge. Now, Skeledirge, everyone, I'm going to get my little stand here so I can keep this thing straight. So sorry for the shaking around. I don't mean to put on a Blair Witch Project here, but anyways. Skeledirge is a stage 2 Pokemon with 180 hit points. He is a fire type, and this is this bad boy right here. And it's got these cool like little things in the middle, like okay, he's number, what is this, 911, Joshua? Is that what it says? It says that he's a
31.
Is that a Singer Pokemon? Is that right?
A Singer?
Singer or Singer? Because it almost looks like Singer.
Singer.
I don't know.
Singer.
Does Skeledirge sing? Anyways, I
Yeah,
don't know.
it
Whatever.
actually does have the torch song about that.
No way, dude. I didn't know that. Some of these things you don't know, guys, by the way, if you don't play the actual video game or watch the show or stuff like that. But anyways, his height, 5 foot 3 inches. Weight, is that 719 pounds? 0.8?
Yeah.
719.8?
Yeah.
That boy needs to go on a diet. Anyways, so Skeledirge has something the other two don't. Check it out. I bet you can see. You're smart. So anyways, Skeledirge has an ability called Unaware. When you activate, when you say I activate the ability Unaware, prevent all effects of attacks used by your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon. Damage is not an effect. Ooh, what a tricky little twisted attacks. Effects of attacks versus damage. So this is also a mystery to me on exactly how to explain this. So I'm going to find a good way to explain this in a later video. Effects of attacks versus damage. But if I'm not mistaken, the damage is the 60 right here. The plus, this right here is the effect of the attack. Is that right, Joshua?
Yes.
So the effect of this attack, Torchurto, is this attack does 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon. So let's say...
Actually, no, that's not an effect.
Oh, it's not an effect? Oh, what is it?
more damage.
Oh.
In fact, it's like poison.
Oh, you're right, because it says...
burn.
Oh. See, I'm learning as I go too, guys. So
Damage counters is an effect.
Holy cow, damage counters is an effect. So, okay, so damage counters is an effect. Special conditions like being poisoned or confused or burnt or... What's the other one? Asleep. Paralyzed. Or lame like me. Anyways, no, just kidding. But anyway, so and as you can tell, guys, it doesn't hurt. I am actually certified as a Pokemon professor, judge and organizer, but I've only been doing this a short while. And ultimately I am learning as I go. So I have no problem leaning on people and saying, hey, how exactly do you interpret this? Honestly, the effects and damage thing and attacks and all that kind of boggle my mind sometimes, but that's the cool thing about when you're like in a tournament, you can call for a judge and they can help identify what exactly something means. So this lesson here is kind of encapsulating a lot of stuff I didn't really mean to get into, but we're hitting on a bunch of different things. But just to go further down the card, I'm going to go back over here. So you know that this guy's an ability. This ability he can use as the ability dictates. And then, of course, he has one fire type energy and one colorless energy, or any energy can take the place of that. Like you can use a water energy and it goes right. It will account for that. So you would attach one fire on one turn, one fire on another, or unless you had some way to accelerate his energy, you would he has 3 retreat. You have to give up 3 energies off of him in order to retreat him. Or have like a rescue board and all that kind of stuff, and we'll get into that some other time. Weakness. Imagine that fire is weak to water. Anyways, so water will, like if some Pokemon has, let's say a Pokemon has 90 attack, like they can attack for 90 damage. If they can attack for 90 and he's times 2, then it's 180, he would be knocked out. So anyways, these guys have all this stuff going on for them. They each have the same. Now there's resistance also. Resistance works the opposite of the weakness thing. What's that, Joshua? In what?
Resistance. It takes off damage instead of multiplies.
Yeah. Resistance takes off damage instead of multiplies. This card has an illustrator. The person that drew the picture, illustrated the picture, that's their name right there. I'm not going to begin to explain that right now. The SSPEN, that's Surging Sparks Set English version, right, Josh?
Yes.
And the H, I forget the identifier for the H. It's
H is a regulation mark.
H is a regulation mark. There you go. So 2 heads are better than 1 over here. H is a regulation mark. And then this is the 29th out of 191 cards in this set.
Actually, there's more because of all these secret rares.
Yes, and technically there are more because of secret rares, hollows, reverse hollows, blah, 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 blah. We're not going to get into all that right now, but here's a little description of this little guy right here. He's like, oh, its flame sac is small, so energy is always leaking out. This energy is released from the dent atop Fuecoco's head and flickers to and fro. 2024 Pokemon Nintendo Creatures Game Freak. Wow, there's a lot of heads on this card. 1, 2, 3, 4 businesses. What's going on here? Stay tuned for another show in concern to that, but whatever. Anyways, right now, this is pretty much it. We've gone 11 minutes deep. I don't want to go too much further than this. I've broken down this card, and the other cards can be broken down the exact same way. Here's 30 out of 191. The black dot actually does mean something.
Common.
Aha, it means common.
Diagonals mean uncommon.
Okay.
And triple gold star is hyper rare.
There you go. So as you can tell, there's a lot to know on these cards. You're never going to get it all at once, but just as just an introduction to these things, guys. Really just wanted to tell you a little bit about these cards, what you can expect from seeing all the information on them. And if you really are into the art, I mean, all you got to do is go on Google or whatever, take the Illustrator and see all the art that illustrator's done for Pokemon and pull it up and see what you get. My favorite Pokemon are like these stuffy Pokemon. I love the stuffies. Then you have clay Pokemon, and you have all sorts of different illustrations or just simply artistic renditions of Pokemon. All that being said, guys, Fuecoco was Bodie's vote for this for today's Pokemon intro. I appreciate you guys. We love y'all. Subscribe if you can. Share the heck out of these videos, guys, because there's people out there that literally are looking at these cards like I once did, and they're like, what in the world is that? And because they just simply are confused, they don't care about it, and they turn it off. So, guys, take care, and
like and subscribe. Yes. Turn on that notification bell to never miss a single one of our videos.
Snap. All right, guys. Well, this is in an effort for 2 heads are better than 1. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Ta-ta.